Hey everyone, it's Dale from the Webhub class, and let's go ahead and work on adding JavaScript functionality to our Bootstrap sites. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a program developed by this man called Lightbox, and what it's going to do is add a photo slideshow with JavaScript functionality into our site. So first, a very quick reminder of what JavaScript is. It's a language just like HTML and CSS, but it's a programming language that is based on functionality. So it allows people to do something with your content. So as an example, these slideshows, these are thumbnails, and when I click on them, it now makes the images full. You've seen that the background has darkened. I can also click to get out of them and stuff like that. So people can now interact with your page, and they do so through the JavaScript language. So we already had some JavaScript in our original Bootstrap sites. We just didn't really mess with it much. So now we're going to be adding to that. So first thing you're going to want to do is, a couple things. One, I have a sample Bootstrap site page up here. So of course this is the most basic Bootstrap site, but when I go to my folder that I'm working in, I want to show you a couple things. We do have that JavaScript folder here, so we already had a couple of JavaScript files in there. We have the basic Bootstrap CSS site files, and then I have my index.html. The other thing I've already done is I created an IMG folder, an image folder, and I've gone through and created the 4 images I'm going to use and the thumbnails that I want for each of those. Now, your requirement for this assignment is 10 to 15 of those to tell a story. I'm only going to do 4 for this example. So once we've got all that established, we need to go to the Lightbox site, and to do that, all you do is Google Lightbox, and it's going to be the first thing that pops up right here. So you click on that, takes you to the site, and it's fairly simple. We're going to want to download this right here. He's got the examples right here, and then he actually walks you through some of the instructions here. So we can do all that as well. I'm going to go ahead and download. It's going to add a zip file. So I'm going to drag that to my desktop. I'm now going to find it, drag it over here, and open it up. So let's take a look at what's in that folder once we do that. So don't worry about some of this stuff. Click on the this dist folder, and you're going to see he has a couple of CSS files. He has some images in here, and then he has some JavaScript in here. So we're going to want to move all that over. He also has the index.html page here as examples if you're wanting to do that. So let's move everything over first. So I'm going to open both of these up, and I'm going to copy these 2 CSS folders into my Bootstrap file. Let's go ahead and move these images over to my image folder, and then let's move the JavaScript files over as well. So now I have everything in my folder that I'm working with, so we should be good to go. If I go back to here, of course nothing has happened because we haven't added anything into the site. So once you get all those files moved, you can go down to his instructions here, and he actually walks you through the process. First thing you want to do is you're going to want to add the style sheet, that lightbox.css, to your style sheet. So here I have my very simple Bootstrap page. You can see here's my first style sheet. So I'm going to want to go here, and I need to fix the path to this. So I have it in the CSS folder, and I'm going to want to save that. Next thing we need to do is actually add the JavaScript file that we want. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to my code. And here is where the JavaScript was before that you already had on your any Bootstrap page or site, but we didn't really do much with it again. So I'm going to copy that right there. And again, I need to fix this path, and I have that in the JS folder. So now I'm saving that page. Again, if we go back here, nothing has happened because we haven't added anything. So now we're ready to start entering in the code. And so I'm going to right click and view the page source, and let's look at his code here. And what I want to do is I want to look for these examples. So here we have the 2 individual examples. I want that 4 image set though. So here's where that begins, and you'll notice I have 2 divs here. So I'm going to want to copy all that, and I'm going to go down till I close 2 divs. So let's copy that, and I'm going to paste this in here. I'm going to clean up my code so that everything is as simple as possible. Okay, so now we're good with that. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this display as well. So we're good to go with the code. Now let's take a look at this code and what we're doing. What we're doing is we're actually putting a link tag or an A tag, which provides a link around the thumbnail, and then we're telling it when they click on that thumbnail, we want it to open the large image. Okay, so again, let's take a look at that logic. We've got this A tag that's surrounding this image, which is the thumbnail, the tinier picture. When we click on it, we want it to open this larger image of the 2. Right here in the data title, this is where we have our caption that you'll need to add. And then you can add some alt tags, alt tag information here. So let's go in here, and this is where I need to start putting my images. So they're in the IMG folder, and I have them labeled SXS1. And so then right here for the thumbnail, it would be IMG/XSSS1-thumb. So I'm going to go ahead and save this and just make sure that it's working on our page. So you can see here we have the thumbnail, and these obviously aren't working because the images are not in our file. But if I click on that, you'll now see that we have the functionality to go with on that page, or on that image itself. So now I can go back to the code and start changing the rest of these. So this would be IMG and SXSS2.jpg. Again, I'm not really worrying about the caption right now because I'm just trying to get these, get the images up and going, so then I can start to work on those. All right, so there's that. This would be IMG SXSS3. And then down here, IMG and then we need the last one right here. IMG for okay, so now when I save this, if everything worked properly, we should have now 4 thumbnails, which we do. And when I click on them, you can see that he has instructions on how to navigate the page now with more functionality. So we can, if I click the right arrow, it moves us to the next one. If we want to go back, you click on the left-hand side of the screen. But you can see that all of our pictures are working. So I would want to go in now and change those captions. So again, we're telling a story with this JavaScript, with this photo slideshow. That story is really important. So here's again where I change that. So my spring break consisted of of covering South by Southwest Interactive. That would be the caption for my first one, and then I would change this alt data to SXSW sign. And then here I would say we took our team of 6TX State grad students to the conference. And so the alt tag I would change to SXTX State Team. This one, I would say a highlight was getting to hear President Obama's keynote. And this would be President Obama at South by Southwest. And then finally, the fourth one was Bubbles from The Wire. I even got to meet Bubbles from The Wire. And I would change the alt tag here to with Bubbles from The Wire. All right, so let's go ahead and save that. And now let's go back. And you won't notice any difference here because we just have our thumbnails, but now when we click on this, now the caption has changed. My spring break consisted of covering South by Southwest Interactive. We took our team of SXTX State graduate students to the conference. A highlight was getting to hear President Obama's keynote, and I even got to meet Bubbles from The Wire. So again, you need 10 to 15 of these to tell a complete story, but you can see how simple it is to get this done using some code from the Lightbox kit. And then you can go in and add more functionality to this. You can add some custom style to shape the thumbnails if you want. So work on customizing that any way you want. But that's how we add something simple like a photo slideshow to a Bootstrap page using JavaScript functionality.